Hi, welcome to Wisdom Wednesdays, where I share a little nuggets that I've learned along the way of healing my mind and gaining my powerful spirit, like we talked about yesterday. Today is focus is where do you put your value? So if you watch my videos, I love props. So you have a little cash register here, right? So when we go to a cash register, what do? We bring an item and we say, okay, this is $5.95, click. This is $2.95, click. This is $100, click. And then we come up with a total, we pay, and we leave. Now, you are stepping up to the cash register. How much are you worth? And many of you might be saying, wow, I feel like $1. I feel like $10. I feel like 1,000 on a great day. I want you, when you go up to this register, it says priceless. That is what you have to feel like. Every time you don't feel valued, you feel like you're walking up to a register, like this is an actual person. Are they treating you? Are they registering you as priceless? Or they registered you as a commodity? Are you just a peep that's $5.95? Where you put your value, if you put your value in something versus someone, you have to consider that might be very well how you feel about yourself. If you put something as priceless as, gosh, I've seen a baseball that was signed by a famous player go for millions of dollars. And then you see people starving. You just wonder, where does people put value? So I have a story for you today that I have shared on a video a while back, but I think it has to do so much with this topic of self-value. So sit back, take a deep breath, and we're going to do our listening grounding technique. So a man was walking down the street. He considered himself a poor man. And he was walking along and he was feeling bad. He hated his job. He didn't make enough money. He wanted that new car. He wanted just to go and buy whatever he wanted, but he was just feeling down about himself, about his life. And this woman walks up and she has 2 bags. And she doesn't say anything to him. And he's like, what are you doing? She presents the 2 bags for him. And he was curious enough to say, okay, I wonder what's in the bags. And because she's a woman, she was small, she didn't look like she could harm a fly. He walked closer and he looked into one of the bags. And he saw gold, like gold nuggets. And he was wondering, is it real? And then he looked into the other bag and there was nothing. And she presented the bags and she said, choose one. The only words that she spoke to him, choose one. So he looked at her like she was crazy and says, well, I'll take the bag of gold. So she took the bag of nothing and she gave him the bag of gold. And he took it like a thief in the night and he ran. And by the time he turned around to go see if she was there, she was already gone. And he went straight to the bank because he was going to check to see if this gold was real. And he went in the bank and he says, I got a pot of gold. The banker was like, yeah, really? And sure enough, he had a bag of real gold. So they did the transaction, they figured it out, and now he was a rich man. He was so excited. He had a pep in his step, and he got home and he told his wife, I'm a rich man now. I have all this money, and showed her the bank account. And she was so excited because now she's a rich woman. And the kids were excited because now they're rich kids. Now they can get more things. She can have more things. Everything, everybody's so happy about their ability to get more things. So he did just that. They went and got a great house, brand new cars. The kids got their Xbox, the best brands ever. And the dolls that were just almost they were custom made. It was a beautiful story. But that wasn't the end of the story. If you have money, you have to make sure you make more money or you lose all your things. So he went to work. And now that he had the money, he was investing and he was doing his diligence, putting in 80, 100 hours a week to make sure he never became a poor man again. And he thought to himself, well, I got to make sure take care of my wife, and I got to make sure my kids have the best education now. So I got to make more money. And he did. So now we're moving forward. It's been 10 years and he's sitting in the best house in the neighborhood. It's sitting above a bay. It is gorgeous. It has gold faucets. He's made more money in the 10 years than anyone could ever have made. He was brilliant with making money. And he was so happy, and he was taking a walk. Now at this time, 10 years later, the kids have gone to the house, and because he had to work so much, he really doesn't have a very close relationship with them. But he has his house, he has his car, and he's happy. And then his wife, because he was never home, he had affairs, their marriage just waned, and she ended up divorcing him and moving into another relationship she's very happy at, and found like a second love. So he was alone in this beautiful house, but he was feeling like a rich man. So he said, I'm going to go have a dinner, the best steak. So he went and walked down to go have a steak because his house was just right down the street. And he came, and just before he got to the steakhouse, he saw the same woman he did 10 years ago. And she started to approach him. And he was so excited. He's like, you made me a rich man. Wow. And she approached him just like she did the first time. She presented 2 bags, one of gold and one of nothing. And he goes, this again? He goes, but he's looking at his house, and he goes, well, okay. I mean, I got a lot from that first one. I get a second opportunity. It must be a miracle. So he looked at the bag of gold first, and he's looking at his house, looking at his boat in the bay. And he's like, well, I don't really need more money. So I'm curious now what's in this bag of nothing. So he says, well, I'll take the bag of nothing. So she goes and she presents it to him, and he takes it. And the bag turned into a crystal ball right in his hand. And he looks at it, and he sees everything that made him actually a very rich man when he was presented the 2 bags way back when. He had a nice car. He had a nice house in a great neighborhood, and his kids adored him. His wife loved him so much, high school sweethearts. And he saw it. He didn't just see everything. He felt everything. The truth was in the bag of nothing. And he cried because now the empty house didn't mean anything to him. The house, the gold faucets, everything that truly made him a rich man were the people in his life. So he looked up, and the woman just disappeared. And right then he knew somebody was trying to give him a gift 10 years ago. And instead of taking what doesn't have any substance, he took what had substance, which was gold. But love, family, is priceless. So now, absorbing that story, if we put our emphasis on things instead of people, then where are we seeing ourselves? Was he a rich man? If you are living in a house, in a one-bedroom house filled with love, are you more rich than somebody that's in a $1 million home all by themselves, on the phone constantly, doesn't know if friends are their friends or just they're a money bank now? Like we were talking about devalue. Well, people with money can also be devalued. They're just looked at as a pocketbook, not a person, or a status symbol. We can all be devalued in some way. We can all be made to feel poor. But we're the only ones that can make us feel rich for what we truly have. When I went into the mental hospital, I lost everything. I had a mental breakdown after a spiritual experience in 2023. And all I had left was one shirt, a skirt, and sandals. I didn't have a home, a husband, children, money, a car, nothing. It was all, my things were gone. My people were gone. God, my sanity was gone. I had nothing. He gave me the bag of nothing, forcibly. Said, I'm giving you this. And I didn't see it as a gift at the time until he said, now I'm going to give you the bag of gold. But instead of gold, it was my family. And all the other things that I have, the house, the car. But my bag of gold was the people and was the animals. And it was the earth, like going outside in nature, which is my church. That is priceless to me. So I hope this video was helpful to you so you can start to put more stock in the things that really do make you a rich person. We'll finish with some ups. My name is, again, Jennifer Rose. I'm a spirituality coach. I'm doing a 10-week Transform You program. If you are interested in it, we have the 5 simple habits. We're on the self game. I'm sure you could find a wonderful life nugget just for you, especially if you found this helpful and insightful. All my videos, I try to come at it in different ways. You might find a methodology that really does work for you. So, see how I do. We can only be said to be alive in those moments when our hearts are conscious of our treasures. Now, these cards are completely random. And you'll see that when I mess up because I can't spell or I can't read fonts. But Thornton Wilder. Now listen to that again, and I'm not even going to go over it. We only can be said to be alive in those moments when our hearts are conscious of our treasures. Nothing left to be said. Take care. Blessings to all who see this.